Let's see if I can get access here. All right. You have to forgive my pup. He is losing his ever-loving mind. And all right. Okay, I can look at the chat now, so we should be good to go. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to painting this barbarian. So, last time that you were here, I did this Minotaur, and he turned out to be, he was pretty good, I think. Gonna be a nice place setting for my the D&D game that I'm gonna be running here in a little bit. Or, well, not here, but running for my guys. But I want to turn my attention to this particular miniature. So first order of business, I had someone reach out to me and say that I wish my dog would stop barking. They reached out to me and say that I should paint a knight next. And while I would love to paint a knight, I didn't have any that needed to be painted, not sitting in my box or anything. So instead, I went and ordered a few. They are on their way. They should be here in a week or two. So you guys are just gonna have to put up with me filling up the time. But if you have any suggestions for stuff that you'd want to see painted, you can drop those comments down below. I really wish my dog would stop barking. Milo, quit! Anyway, so that being said, those particular miniatures are coming in, and while they are, we're going to be painting this barbarian. And I think one of the very first things that I'm going to comment on here is this particular piece is not an actual miniature. This is what we refer to as a Frankenstein. So I wound up taking several parts and pieces and putting them together. Namely, we have this particular model. It's just a standard barbarian, and I think he was holding a big axe or something here. So I cut off the axe head and I put on this barrel, which I thought it would be kind of funny. And I took this little, I don't know, it was a shield. A friend of mine had a shield that was just this plastic piece with a wolf's head on it. So I went ahead and attached that, and I attached the barrel, and I attached the, that dog is gonna kill me. And I attached it to the axe handle instead. And I mean, it's a light Frankenstein. It's not really like, it's not anything super special. I didn't do like create these. You can create incredibly custom pieces that are really, really complex. That is not anything that I have done. So this is just a standard piece that I edited just a little bit to make slightly different. And this piece has been sitting in my box for over, I want to say maybe 7, 8 years. Is that you making all that noise? Come here. You want to tell everybody hello? Come on, tell everybody hello. Hey, buddy. Mwah. I don't know, can y'all see him? You can see the side of his face a little bit. Let's see. Come here, bud. Come here. All right, Milo. Everybody loves you, but you gotta stop barking, all right? Can you stop barking? Can you stop barking? All right. Please stop barking. You're interrupting the video. All right, you're gonna stay in here with me. All right, so, all right. So we are currently live, and we are going to be looking at this guy. We're going to be painting him, and I'm looking forward to see what happens here. Oh, we got someone in the chat, or someone watching the video, not necessarily in the chat yet. Go ahead and drop a line in the chat. We're just going to be painting a barbarian today. I was thinking something along the lines of a barbarian that that dog is still barking. I was thinking about doing something along the lines of a winter coat type thing. So maybe thinking like white hide. So I'm probably going to go with some cloudy gray, maybe some blue undertones, and a lot of browns and blacks, or a lot of browns and multiple tones of that. Because, you know, we're not really dealing with a lot of steel. We're not really dealing with a lot of what do they call that? Nothing mechanical. We're not dealing with anything manufactured. We're dealing with like hide and fur and that kind of stuff. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm just going to start with a base coat of this brown. This is a muddy brown, which is a really cool little color that I picked up here, and we're going to just get started with it. Yeah, give me 30 seconds. I'm going to shut the door. Maybe it'll help drown out some of that dog barking. I don't know what he sees. He found something outside and he's losing his mind. All right, so one of the very first things we're gonna do is we're just gonna take some brown and we're just gonna spread it all over the place and try to get some of the majority of this colored. Just a nice undertone before I put blues and grays on top of it. So for that, let's go ahead and get started. That dog is going to drive me up the wall. I don't know why, like he's quiet 90% of the time, but heaven forbid I decide to jump on a stream and do this live in such a way that I can't stop what I'm doing, and well, you guys get the idea. Oh, should probably put it to where you guys can see it, huh? So we're just gonna paint and paint and paint, get that nice brown color all over the place here. All right. And this brown looks like it's turning out to be really thin. It's turning out to be thinner than I expected, which means that this paint is just going to run. It's going to run all over the place, and it's going to leave, it's going to get into the cracks and crevices more than it's going to stay on high points and high places, which actually works in my favor because I want this piece to be able to have some overcoats rather than this undercoat that we got going on here. Let's go ahead and get some coloration deep in there. All right. Got a comment. I'm sorry if you've already answered this at some point. How long have you been painting and what got you started? Sky, thank you very much for the question. You have not asked before, or at least I don't think I've been asked before. I have been painting probably for about 10 years now. So probably I'd probably go as far and say as my early 30s, maybe my late 20s. And I started there mostly just doing miniature work for, you know, let me back up a little bit. I have a group of friends that have a D&D group that we've been playing with for years and years and years. And over time, they collected probably $20,000 worth of miniatures. Like these guys were dropping, like, you know, when you're a teenager and you got nothing to do and nothing to spend your money on, these guys would just blow entire paychecks on miniatures. You know, some people go out drinking at bars. Some people buy miniatures. I don't understand, but they spent quite a bit of money. And whenever I started DMing for them, they wanted me to just kind of hold on to all of the miniatures. They're like, hey, just hold on to this stuff. And, you know, whenever we play, like we'll come over to your place anyway. And we'll just have the miniatures all right there. They'll all be in one place. We don't got to lug, you know, 13 tackle boxes around. And that's what we carried them in. We carried them in tackle boxes. We don't got to lug 13 tackle boxes around everywhere we go. And our lives will be made a lot more easy by just the central location of everything. And because I was sitting on a ton of miniatures that were all unpainted, because these guys didn't really have a lot of time to paint. They were a lot of them were involved in football and sports and basketball and a lot of other things like weightlifting and stuff. So these guys, they were just kind of like, a lot of these miniatures were just left unpainted. So I asked, like, hey, do you guys care if I just start painting? And they were more than happy to get their miniatures painted. So that means that I essentially started painting all of their minis for free. And I loved doing it. It was such a blast. And I learned quite a lot. I started off really, really terribly. And after poking around a few websites and reading a few articles and just practice, I figured out what I was doing and I learned a few things along the way. And fast forward 10 years and shoot, I've still been painting this whole time. For a while there, I was doing my paint pourings. You can go back on my channel and see where I do, I would actually pour paint instead of like, you know, acrylic pouring, I think they call it. But these are, this is a little bit different than pouring, a little bit different than acrylic pouring, right? But really it all kind of comes from the love, the same love from the same place, you know? All right, so this guy is painted. He's pretty good for the moment. We're gonna let him sit. He does need to dry. He's, like I said, that paint was just a little bit too wet. So you've seen my other videos, Sky? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I like I love the fact that you were able to follow me over and continue watching. But yeah, that's where I got my original love of painting from, and where the reason ultimately why I'm sitting here doing this right now is because I've had such a love for it my entire life. So, all right. Okay. So I think, like I was saying earlier, I've got this dark brown kind of going all over the place here, and that's going to be what I start with. I'm able to, I should be able to, I don't know, I think I'm going to start off with this sort of an ashen blue. I'm gonna paint all of his fur, all the fur line stuff that's all over the place. I'm going to color that, and then I'm going to dry brush this sort of cloudy gray on top of that. So let's get some work. Let's get to work, huh? I don't like this. We're still just a little damp. around some of there's some areas where there's still some paint that is yet to dry, but that's okay. We'll just get started and see how it goes. Whew. I'm glad I was able to squeeze that out. That did not go so well. That was almost a mess. All right. So I switched up brushes. I'm no longer using my my junk brush. I'm gonna go ahead and use this guy who's a little junkier, but not quite as junky as this thing. So, oop, can you see it? Yeah, not quite as junky as this guy. We're gonna use this one. And we're just gonna try to get some of that blue deep in there, deep in those crevices. And I'm gonna try to avoid everything else, but if I can't, that's okay too. Oop. Yep, there's a wet spot. That's damp. I have a feeling this is gonna blow up in my face and I'm gonna have to redo this one, but that's okay. I like having to redo things. There's a lot of times where you go in expecting something's gonna work and it doesn't. Expecting something to go well and it doesn't. That's the whole thing about painting. You're gonna wind up creating all kinds of issues. You're gonna mess up a lot of things, and that's how you learn. You learn by continually messing up and just redoing what you just did. And we're gonna dig some of that paint in there. We're gonna spread this around. Gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing, that I'm actually a professional. Don't ever let me lie to you guys. I am not a professional in any way, shape, or form, but I do love doing this, and I've been doing it for a long time. So, yeah, you can take that as you will. All right, I'm gonna do some light detail work around these frills down here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'm trying not to get paint here, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. And because this guy, if you look at his boots, he's got 3 different layers of fuzz. He's got frills here, and frills here. And I'm just gonna lightly paint around there. I'm gonna try to get it down here as well and not cause a bunch of bleed. Oh, good grief. You might as well just painted the whole thing blue instead of starting with brown. I've made such a mess. You know, that's half of the time. You just make a bunch of mess and you clean it up later on. All right. Okay, so we've got this interesting blue going on here. All right, we've got another person watching. Say hey in the chat. If you want to, you don't have to. I always appreciate getting some messages. It's always fun. Oh, all right, let this dry for just a second. So I am a little excited. I'm gonna let this sit for just a moment. I am a little excited. I recently got in a one of the figures that I've been waiting on. Oh, Melissa, hello. How we doing? Like I said, I recently got in one of my figures that I ordered, and it is this particular fella. I haven't put him together yet. Ooh, can you even see him? Yes, you can. All right. It is a griffin. I've been itching to get myself one of these, and I saw one. It was on sale. I think I spent $10-12 on it. So, ooh, am I going to be able to get that in there? Is that going to fit? There we go. So this is about how it sits. It's a, I've got to push the piece down a little bit more, and actually get in there and add glue and stuff like that. But this is the piece that I'm going to be working with. I think it's really pretty. I saw it. It's got a lot of detail. A lot of these little, it's got a lot of feathering all over the place. So I'm really excited to get to paint this guy. That's going to be one of my next projects. Probably not for the lives, but I'll probably do a quick video and record it and paint this. All right, so this guy is looking like he's dried up just a little bit. I'm gonna have to come back over it and clean up all of that blue, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. As you do this, you'll find that you have certain brushes that cooperate more and work better in certain situations, and you will use them more. So anyway, so say goodbye to the griffin. We'll be seeing more of him later. I can't wait to give him a paint. It's going to be pretty fun. All right. All right, we're gonna give it some dry brush. We're gonna dry brush that gray on top of that blue. And what this should do is kind of create this sort of, like, it's a hide, but I'm thinking like this sort of icy tundra type barbarian that's been out in the wild and wilderness for a long time. So we'll use this sort of blue fur to kind of represent, like, oh, he's been out in the ice, which I know in D&D, like, we have winter wolves, we have, the dire wolves, which all have this blue and gray tint to their clothing. So those are good representations of what I'm trying to achieve here with this light blue, with this dark brown undertone. So I think once we do some dry brushing on top, and we get that gray to cover up the most of that, I think we're gonna look really good. We just gotta get there. So let's start doing it. And dry brushing is always so much fun because you waste 90% of the paint. Okay. And let's see what we can accomplish. Not much. I think I took too much of it off. There we go, much better. Dry brushing is always fun because it makes your piece look incredibly professionally painted, rather than the fact that you're just kind of having fun and making a mess. So it's like getting a chance to really, really lie on your resume. So if you can get good at dry brushing, you can fool a lot of people into thinking you're a good painter. And I'm not half as good as I could be with dry brushing. So Please forgive my dog. I know that he just... I'm beginning to think that maybe he really just wants attention. I'm not giving him attention, so therefore he feels the need to go and bark and wake up the neighborhood. Which I think I've talked about this before, but we have 4 or 5 dogs in the neighborhood that are, they're all down the same street. So when one starts barking, they all start it. So if they're outside, it truly becomes quite the mess. And pretty funny. So, but in the meantime, I have to sit here and listen to it because I can't get up. Never fails. Never fails. All right, let's get that top mail painted here. And of course, I swear, I don't know how a fly just got in the house. Like, I think this happened last time I was on stream. I haven't seen a fly for an entire week. And the second I jump on stream, I start having a fly buzzing around my backyard, or my office back here. So, all right. So here we go. We've got a nice start on this this guy here. We've got this nice gray coat with the blue undertones here. I think we're kind of coming along. I think we look appropriate for what I'm going for. And even if we don't, we'll just make it work. Melissa says, I love it. I understand. I have a chocolate lab. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. They can be quite irritating, can't they? We love our pooches to death, but they can be quite frustrating. All right. All right. Okay. So we've got a good start on this. And I think what we're going to do next, I'm going to try to clean up some of these areas where the muddy brown was covered over by the really terrible work that I've been doing here. So, a couple more drops in there. I'm going to use my good brush, the one that I can get a kind of a fine tip on. And we're going to do some precision work right now. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. And I'm going to try not to hold my breath while I'm doing it. Yeah, so the finer that you can get those bristles, or get a set of, get a paintbrush that has bristles that allows you to do that detail work, the more control you have. Milo, hush. Everyone likes you. You don't have to be jealous. We all like Milo, right? All right. So we got his little boots off to a good start. Another quick thing, this is an older miniature. Like I said, I've had this miniature for a long time. So most of the minis that you see me painting nowadays, Milo, you better not bark in here. You do not get to bark in here. You can bark out there. I prefer you not to, but anyway. So, is he, can you guys see him? Come here, Milo. There we go. Hey, bud. So, like I was saying, I have a lot of these miniatures are now, they're resin pieces. So they have a very different quality of material nowadays. This is actually pewter. So we're talking, you know, a very bendable metallic substance. And that's exactly what this is. This is a pewter piece that is it's just a really older piece. And I'm not saying that they don't make pewter stuff anymore. As a matter of fact, they still primarily make pewter. But the invention of 3D printers have made all of this so much easier to do. So a lot of individual sellers are making those resin pieces. I'm sorry, my dog is about to start barking again. I apologize for the noise that is coming. Anyway, so let's keep going. Yep, I need to get back here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Very, very, very thin work here. Trying to get it all lined out. Okay, there we go. Oh, when Milo comes back, because eventually he will come back, I will tell him you said hello, Melissa. He's a cutie, isn't he? All right, let's knock that blue off of that kneecap. And, ooh, look at that. I've definitely messed up all of that back there. Yeah, that's one thing that I definitely need to get better at is my control. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of control on my paintbrush. So I know that there's some exercises out there that allow you to get that control, that allow you to build that control. But it's just not something I have at the moment. It's all right though. Can work on that later. Right now, my barbarian must be built. So it looks like we're about to have a rainstorm out here. So that's going to be fun. I am looking forward to having rain while I'm doing a recording. So that should be fun. If you guys have any suggestions for colors, I don't care how goofy, just let me know. I am down to take color suggestions. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny. I can do that right now while I've only got 4 viewers. If I tried to do that if I have more, that would not fly. I would wind up with 3,000 suggestions, but I wouldn't be able to take everybody's request, Milo, he just smacked the camera with his tail. Melissa, you know my pain, right? You experience the same thing with your dog, I assume, right? cover up some more of that blue. Oh, look at that. That center belt piece right there. I have made a huge mess. So let's get in there. And those look like tusks, like elephant tusks. So I'm gonna come back over with some white or something in bone. And I am going to take care of that. Woo. Get in there. There we go. Okay. All right, so we've got to start. We've got all those blue places covered back up. We've got the brown where it needs to be. Yeah, we're still fixing areas. That's how that works. It never ends. I think what I'm going to do is dry brush, because there's a lot of texture on this leather stuff. So I'm going to dry brush some light brown onto it. I know that means that I'm going to destroy some of my previous work, but it's really going to help that. It's really going to help everything pop. Yep, that tail. Sky, everyone needs a Milo in their life, and Melissa totally agrees. Yeah, I think you're right. This dog brought my late wife so much happiness. I cannot lie. It is just, he made life that much more beautiful, you know? And I know that you guys watched that insanity. Wait, that's tan skin. That's not light brown. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, that's mahogany. I have a mahogany and a muddy brown. Right now we're dealing with muddy brown. Let's not confuse those. Do I have a... Huh. I used to have... This is my oiled leather, and I'm not sure... Ooh. That's as dry as a bone. We got a little bit in there. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, we'll make it work. I really need to get some more of this though. It is a very, very, very good color. All right, here goes nothing. Oh, Milo, don't do that. Not in here. So whenever you dry brush an oiled leather or like a light brown on top of a darker brown, what you wind up doing, check out that sword back here, right? You see the that sort of sword strap back there? Watch this. Boom. All of a sudden it went from this dark brown color across the entire thing to having like these raised different colored leather and like texture. You can even see all the little the ridges in the actual back end of the sword. So yeah, like even though this makes the paint process, it slows it down tremendously. I'm like, oh, I might have to redo a couple of things later on to cover up the fact that, oh, you did a bunch of dry brushing and you messed up a few places. So what? It literally makes your work, like I said earlier, your work looks like you're a professional. Like we're trained by a master or something. Just by learning to dry brush. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's hit up this coin purse here. And we're gonna hit up his gloves. Yep, there we go. Let's get the fingers of his gloves. Let's get that taken care of. All right. And let's go ahead and get messy. We're gonna make some mistakes, and we're gonna come back and cover it up later. Because that's the great thing about paint. You can screw up everything you do, and no one ever has to know. You can always just come back and fix it. I gotta be careful. I almost put my ink in this. All right. Okay, what next? I think I'm gonna get. I'm looking for any place that I might have screwed up and actually added or actually hit a blue spot. But I think right now I feel like any mistake that I might have made is fairly minor. I don't really see anything. I do want to do a light brushing of blue over the top of this. Just to cover up any accidental dry brushing. Yep, there's a spot. Got a little happy. All right. Next up, we're going to dry brush his hair. Right now, he's currently sitting at this sort of dark brown. I'm gonna color it with black. I think I'm gonna do a black dry brush right over the top. Let's see. Melissa, she was such a beautiful soul, and we thank you for sharing her with us. That wasn't my idea. Whenever we all pass away from this world, you're gonna have to go up and thank God and thank her, because she was the one who wanted to video everything. She felt that she was called to do it. And personally, I would have rather have buried myself in a hole, and I would have just not done anything. 110%. Yeah, no, that was not me. I wanted to just lick my own wounds, so to speak, hide away, not tell anyone anything. But she opened up our lives to the world, and to be honest, I'm glad we did. I'm really glad that we did. Sky said, I love it when she was telling us that Milo kept eating the brownies. If I remember correctly, it made you late for your trip. Yes, that was exactly what happened. That is exactly the way that whole thing went down. Milo ate the brownies and she left. She left and was like, Darren, I've got to go. You take care of the dog, and I'll see you when you get there. And I was like, right on, I got you. Let's do this. I took care of the dog, and then if I remember correctly, the very next day, I was getting ready to go, and Milo ate the remainder of the brownies. He managed to sneak past me and just eat them, and I remember that moment. That was so funny, and so of course this would happen to us. Why wouldn't it? It made for a good story, though. Definitely made for a good story. We laugh about it. I still laugh about it. I tell everyone that Milo is basically poison proof at this point. I shouldn't jinx it, but he is like 100%. Like, he is not. I just don't. He's done more stuff since she's passed. I think I might have told you guys this. Maybe not. He wound up eating metal tines out of a hairbrush. I took him to the vet, and they couldn't find any tines. They couldn't find any metal in his guts. So he ate them and either passed them, which should not have happened, or he never ate them, but hid them to the point where I couldn't find them because I was able to count the missing tines out of the hairbrush. So, that's a thing. Okay, so we got this guy's hair. He's got an undertone of brown, and I highlighted, or I've colored the highlights black. And I'm just gonna go extra. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I like it. We did good. We did good so far. All right. All right, now what am I missing? Let's see this guy. I'm gonna color, oh yeah, we're gonna hit some ivory on these little, it looks like elephant tusks or walrus tusks, or we're gonna call them like saber-tooth wolf tusks. Why? We can be creative. Let's just do it. I'm not going to use my Ushtabi bone. I'm gonna use this guy. I have not used him yet. I'm kind of curious as to what he's going to be like. Ooh, this is called Skeleton Bone is the name of this paint. And I want to see if it lives up to its name. If it's just a slightly off-white, or if it actually is a really good skeleton color. Because I like my Ushtabi. All right, can you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm gonna get really, we're gonna do some close stuff. Woo. Heck yeah, there we go. And he's got a few more on the outside of his skirt, too. I call it a skirt. It's his, what, I don't know, armor, dress, battle dress. Yeah, whatever. Technically speaking, I think we would call that hide armor in D&D, but yeah. And I know he's got some up here as well. He's got a guy up there, and we've got one up here. We're gonna be real careful. All right. And we got one right there. All right, there we go. So we got him going a little bit further. I think we're ready to hit that face and color up some of the skin on his arms. He's got exposed arms. I'm considering his hands to be gloved, so I'm not going to touch that. But I am going to color his face and his arms in a. I'm going to dry brush with tanned skin. I know that I've got that muddy brown as a base, so we're just going to keep the base, and we're just going to dry brush. We're going to use our good old dry brush technique and just go right over the top with this tanned skin color. And we're just gonna hope that we don't make a mess. It's exactly what we did. We made a mess. Okay, all right. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but this is like the only way for me to get it. Oh, no, I can hold it like this. Never mind. If I get right in here, maybe I can get some swipes, some downward swipes on that and not. There we go. All right. I don't like the way the dry brush came out on this, but we're going to dry brush his face too, because and then we'll come back and fix the hair later. All right, so here we go. His face is a little lighter than I was expecting, but it's whatever. We'll make it work. I'm really digging the way this came out, this back arm back here. Here we go. Yep, I'm really digging the way that came out. Really not liking the way this came out. So, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. All right. Let's fix up his hair. I know I said that we played around with that a little too much. Looks like we got another person in on the stream. Everybody say hey. My newcomer, I can't tell who you are, but I would love to see you pop up and chat. So poke in, say hey. All right, so let's finish up. I'm gonna repaint some of his hair, because when I was dry brushing that skin tone, you wind up messing everything up. Okay, and Okay, there we go. I think nope. There we go. Better. Considerably better. All right. Next up, we got his weaponry. We can play around with a lighter tone here to kind of draw out some of that contrast. Let's go. I'm going to use that oiled leather again. I know that it's a pain in the butt to get out. It's like 99% dry. I've got a little bit of moisture left in this thing. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is currently raining right now, and it is super relaxing. I'm just ready to keep rocking and rolling here. All right, so we're gonna clean up this dry brush just a little bit. And we are going to create some nice contrast on this oaken staff that he's holding. And I am just being super gentle, trying not to get a bunch of excess paint everywhere. Okay, let's start. All right, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna I used this oiled leather paint so much that I'm surprised that I have any left, to be quite honest. Like, truly, it was my favorite paint to use for a very long time. I do need to get some more. All right, we're gonna cover up this wolf's head here, this shield. And we're just gonna keep going down the sides. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I think I just held the piece off camera. Y'all need to yell at me when I do that. Yeah, I think we're just about to the end of our rope here. Okay. Off to a good start, I think. Or almost a good start. Almost a good end. I think we're still a little too little too light. I think we have too much blue. I don't know. We have decisions. And of course, the best part is if we mess this up, we can just start all over. Okay. Get my fine tip. Let's get some steel. So the barrel itself has 2 bands going around it that are going to be a steel color. And I love this blade steel. It's not often that you find a metallic paint like this in a core set. So I'm happy that I have it. So I'm just gonna use it. Okay. Ooh. Look at how much I'm shaking. Yeah, I am not, I have not been well fed today. I am hungry. So that is what is causing that. Well, technically speaking, I was well fed. I just chose not to eat as much. It is Father's Day today, so if anybody's watching and you happen to have children of your own, happy Father's Day. And if you don't have children of your own, you are a father in some way to nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers, sisters, you know. You are a father figure in some way, shape, or form. So even if you don't have kids, you deserve to be honored as well. So happy Father's Day. Actually got my dad and my mom to come to church with me today. So that was really nice. I gotta close up this gap right here. Okay, there we go. I got them to come to church with me today, so they got to hang out and get some food. So that was nice. All right. So we got a couple of metal bands that go around the back here. His face looks sufficiently painted. I think we're going to do something with this this metal cap here, and I'm not quite sure what. A little steel rim like this, maybe. And we're gonna come around the side here as well. We're gonna paint that up. Don't know if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, you guys can. Good. All right. So my barbarian with a hammer that's made out of a barrel of beer is finished. I have been sitting on this piece for a very, very long time. I simply cannot tell you how long or how much I've been wanting to paint this thing and for how long. It truly has been a long time. This piece has just been sitting in my bag forever. But yeah, so he, I think, is finished, and we can put him up somewhere, and I don't know, I'll do something with him. I'll use him as a enemy in the next fight or something my players wind up in. So yeah. So thank you guys for coming along. Like I said, oh wait, you know what? No. We are not done yet. We are definitely not done. Oh, you know what? Cloudy gray it is. Or not cloudy gray, blade gray it is. We're gonna give this guy a metal platform to stand on. I have been neglecting to paint my my bottoms for you guys, so we're gonna make sure that he's standing on something metallic. There we go. And I'm just gonna come over and I'm just gonna paint. There we go. There he is. He's done. I can finally put this guy to bed and use him in a game or something. So that being said, I am going to one last time show you guys the thing to come. I know those of you that just joined probably didn't see this. So this guy is a piece that I picked up, I don't know, it just came in today. I picked it up about a week ago. It was about 10 or 12 bucks. It is a griffin, which is part lion, part eagle. So it is a old school, it is a old school fantasy trope to have a griffin somewhere in game or somewhere in, storytelling and whatnot. So I'm definitely going to be using him. I'm going to have a lot of fun painting him. So look forward to seeing that. Also, the next video to drop will be the Odiug. I remember the last video that I did was I got halfway through painting this guy and then stopped the video. I've got one more video to go, and it's going to be me finishing up him. So I think that's going to drop either Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll upload that here in a bit. But I finish up this piece, and after I do that, then you'll start seeing the griffin start coming into play and being more and more active, and we'll do some painting on him. I got some decision making to do, like maybe some browns and whites and gray, but we shall see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for following along. I just had a really good time, and I always have a blast whenever you guys do come along. Oh, let's see if, okay, no more comments, so that's good. And I think, I don't know, I've really enjoyed doing these, and I'm looking forward to doing more of them. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. And I hope you guys have a blessed Sunday, a blessed week, and, just hang in there. Hang in there. And we are all in this ride together, you know? So I hope to see you guys next time I'm live, next Sunday. And yeah, we'll see you then.